switch gears a little bit and go from talking about a team that had, a really bad day on Sunday to somebody who's had 2 really great weeks in a row, and that's Shane van Gisbergen. I mean, we're looking at a guy who 2 weeks in a row, he's won 2 road course races. We have, I think, maybe 3 more road courses left. He could potentially have 5 wins on the season in an Xfinity. Is that something that you thought of going into this season?
Well, I don't think anybody did. I think we thought he would be competitive and maybe win a race, but nothing like what we've caught so far. We've got lightning in a bottle here. And the other thing, Alexis, that I'll tell you, I worked as a turn broadcaster for the Saturday Xfinity race. That was nice in itself. But the thing that I figured out pretty quickly is there was only one driver in that field that people were actively cheering for in that Xfinity race, and that was Shane van Gisbergen. Every time he picked up a spot, anytime he drove by the turn 7 location the people went crazy. So we're not only getting a guy that's really competitive in that series and a heck of a road racer, we're on the verge of having a folk hero and something that I think our sport desperately needs.
One thing, Doug, that I thought of with each passing Xfinity Series win, and I realize there's only been 2, but now back to back, I wonder if that just what does that do to Justin Marks' decision-making process? I think word is out that he's on the hunt for one of those Stewart-Haas charters. He also has Zane Smith under contract. So what do you do? The whole conversation of, is SVG ready in 2025 to go full-time Cup racing? I realize the Xfinity car is vastly different than the Cup car. He was asked the difference between Xfinity and Cup at Sonoma. He said it's like comparing chalk to cheese. So I don't know that we can necessarily say he'll just be great full-time Cup racing at this point. But what do you do if you're Justin Marks?
The Coconut Telegraph tells me that that's in the works, that's going to be something that happens, that somehow we're going to see SVG in a very good Cup car.
Oh, wow.
That's the only way he gets to go up, though. He cannot jump in something mediocre or something less than what he is. He has to be in a very substantial car. If he does that, I could easily see him being somebody you talk about getting to the playoffs by winning a race, because he did last year and he could again next year in a full-time ride win another Cup race. I wouldn't be surprised by that at all.
And he's 35 years old. I mean, that window is kind of closing when you look at what his time potential is. But, Doug, I agree with you. And not only that, I wrote a column about the Thunder Down Under because Sunday we had 3,
Well, I thought that was a show in Vegas.
Well, I just said,
for adults only, lady. This is a family show.
We're kind of getting the thunder from down under in NASCAR, right? Will Brown and Cam Waters. I mean, when's the last time you had 3 guys from Oceania, represented in a NASCAR race? And you know how it is with trends. And it's like you said, lightning in a bottle. Once you find that hot thing, it was kind of like Jeff Gordon. Once Jeff Gordon broke open the barriers, people started looking at their local dirt track and grassroots racing for who the next Jeff Gordon was going to be. Yeah. So are you surprised of this shift? Because, as each of those drivers, and I've talked to 2 of them at the NASCAR production facility last week, they said that viewership is up considerably. The interest in NASCAR is up considerably in Australia right now for the first time since Marcos retired.
This is a great opportunity for both sides. For the Australian contingent to be immersed into the NASCAR world. And all of a sudden we've embraced them and there's this love affair going on. But it also helps expand the NASCAR footprint. So I think everybody's winning right now. And I hope that trend continues, that the American audience is just enjoying the heck out of these drivers. I think part of it's the accent, I'm just going to be honest. But part of it is the fresh talent. And I'm going to say something. SVG gives off an adult vibe. And by that, I mean, he's kind of a man's man. He doesn't look like he's carrying a book bag. He looks like he'd have a lump, he would be carrying an axe into the woods. I don't know how to say it any more delicate
and
than
punt
that.
a rugby ball. It's impressive.
I don't know if you can say man's man delicately. That's
well,
like jumbo shrimp,
And I know, all against all trends and everything else. For a lot of people, that feels good. That he looks like my dad could have looked, and he got a cool accent. There's just a lot of intangibles about him that I think, and it's not marketing. They're not propping him up.
It's genuine.
It's genuine. He's not a pretty boy. He's not a fashion plate. He just is who he is, and he's a really good race car driver.